if you can hear me this time. Let us give a round of applause to this church that is giving free high care surgery to people at their outreaches. I'll talk about it more, but let's hear this testimony first.
mo dúpẹ́ lọ́dọ̀ ọlọ́run mo yin ọlọ́run lógo nítorí mi ò mọ̀ pé mo lè ríran nítorí ojú yìí wọ́n gba ọmọ 32 years lọ́wọ́ mi torí òun ló máa ń mú mi káàkiri mo wá tún dúpẹ́ ọ̀rọ̀ mi ò gbọ́ pẹ́ títí lọmọ mi kan bá mú ọmọ mi yẹn máa òjíṣẹ́ ọlọ́run ni òun náà jẹ́ bó ṣe ní màáhùn wọ́n mà ní wọ́n ń ṣojú níbì kan pé ó yá bí mo ṣe tẹ̀lé nìyẹn wá síbí níjẹta ìgbà tó dìjẹta yẹn mo wọ́n mú wa lọ wọ́n dẹ̀ fi nǹkan sí ojú yẹn wọ́n wá ní ká wá ní àná a tètè dé lánàá bá dẹ̀ ṣe tètè bẹ́ẹ̀ dókítà yẹn ṣiṣẹ́ mo dúpẹ́ lọ́dọ̀ ọlọ́run mo dúpẹ́ wọ́n wá ní ká wá ṣí lénìí tó ń ṣí báyìí mo lémi ni mo ríran yìí mọ́tò màrè nǹkan funfun màrè àwọn èèyàn mà ló ń lọ yìí ọmọ mi tí mi ò tiẹ̀ rí ojú ẹ̀ láti ìjọ́ mélòó bó ṣe wà lọ́dọ̀ mi tó tí mo gbé mọ́ra mo ní báràkà ìwọ leléyìí rọkìbá ìyá àdìsá àní mo bá bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní tó mo ń rẹ́rìn-ín mo yin ọlọ́run lógo mo dúpẹ́ mo yin.
Let me attempt a fair interpretation. So the woman is giving testimony. She came to the church. She was introduced to the church. She has high difficulty, high challenge. If you can hear me, please let me know, because I learned that the initial time there was no audio, but let me know if there's audio now. So the woman is simply appreciating in that testimony. Now, notice something. The testimony is not about whether they put hands and legs on her. The testimony is that the church provided free high care service to members, like free. Everybody come. If you have trouble with your eyes, please come. There's a medical procedure. We will make it free. We just want to make sure that you can see. And that church did. So the woman came back with testimony. And I have an appraisal. The name of the church, I think they said, is Liberty Center in Ikorodu. And the church has promised, and this is for everybody, please take note. The church is in Ikorodu, Liberty, New Covenant Church or something like that. Now, the church gave free eye surgery to people. And that is one of, I just singled out one testimony. For copyright reasons, I don't want to, put too much. But what this simply tells us is that this is what Christianity should be about. What would Christ have done in that circumstance too? That somebody needs help. He won't be asking you to bring money every time, using Malachi 3:10 to scare you, taking all the money, buy jets, go for medicals abroad, all on their own. But the pastors are aware that there are possibilities, medical possibilities for people going through such. And they decided to introduce it to the church and use it for the benefit of members of that church. Now, that is an example, as I always say, of Christianity like Christ. What would Christ have done in the circumstance? Christ would also have said, "Oh, Peter, this woman is blind. Go ye into so and bring thee forth, and say, woman, put thy head under, and the woman will be right, and she'll be okay." That is Christian. And I've always said it, any religion that does not represent humanity, I live there. So when I see, henceforth, I will make sure it's not every time we have to criticize. Sometimes we have to also appraise when we see things being done right, which is my own style. This is right. Every human being who has a challenge should be able to rely on the association they are part of, for instance, the church. And I remember that growing up, churches have missionary schools too, because they helped children of the poor rub shoulder with children of the rich who could afford school. Now, the children of the poor who could not afford school, The church provided them, they have it. The church will create schools. It's just unlike now. That's why we criticize, Unlike now, the schools built by churches are not affordable. Schools built by churches now are unaffordable, unlike the missionary schools before. So when I see things like this, at least we should praise it. So I am doing that, and I'll do that more often. If you know any church doing something like this, or any mosque giving free services to people like this, draw my attention to them. I am interested. I want to talk about them. So the name of this church, once again, is New Covenant. Is it Center or something? Is in Ikorodu. This particular event is, I don't know if they have branches elsewhere, but this particular service happened in Ikorodu. And there are testimonies, not fake testimonies where, now this also takes us to how some churches manipulate. People go for medicals, and when they want to come and give testimonies, they don't talk about the role of the medical services on their recovery. They come to church and say, oh, it is the prayer. No. Is it because hospitals don't roll out tents and say everybody come and be giving testimonies? So because that it is only church that asks people to come back and give testimonies. So we give testimonies of things that we got medical healing for. We now go and give the testimony in church as though it is the pastor that, and we now start pumping more offering and tithe into the church. But I'm happy that this church is doing it right. To say, okay, come and mention it. It is medical help. Oh. Yes, although it is the church that provided it. That is straightforward. That is accountability. The church provided platform for people to get free medical help. And the beneficiaries are praising God for it. Simple, straightforward, no manipulation. No, it was when pastor prayed for me and I did. No manipulations. Straight to the point. So I like that. Oh, when I now saw the pastor, they now lay hand and leg on me. No, this church, I love this. Straight to the point. This is medical problem requiring medical solution. We can get it for you. Straightforward. And I'm always for humanity. So when I see things like this, I love them. Naturally, when I see things for humanity, I love them. So I've never been to this church. I don't know the pastor. I've not been there, but I saw this clip and I have no option than talk about it. And I'll talk more. Maybe every Sunday. If you see more, please send to me. If you see more of churches doing things like this, let me know, please. Maybe once every Sundays like this, I can be talking about the good that Christians are doing finally. Let's start having new churches spring up that are doing things that are departures from the norms we criticize. So if I see new churches coming up, doing new things other than what we have been criticizing, I'll talk about them too. So just so you know that we are not against churches. I'm not here to come and just talk against pastors, talk about no. Like I always say, a man of God is a man. And a man is capable of good and evil. I don't see you as whether you are because you are a man of God. A man of God is a man. You are only a man of God to the extent that you use your capacity and status to do good. Simple. Yeah, you are only, I repeat, you are only a man of God to the extent that you use your capacity and status for the good of humanity. Anything outside of that, I don't see you as man of God. If you like, wear suit and tie. So let's start having new churches spring up for the betterment of humanity, because that is what Christ too would have done. And being a Christian means being like Christ. So being a Christian means being like Christ. What would Christ? Okay, somebody brought a problem. You know the solution. What would Christ have done in the circumstance? Would Christ have tried to extort the person in their situation? Or would Christ have taken the avenue to say, no, we know the solution to this thing. Go thee, Peter, and get me that. Woman, put thine head under that device. That is what Christ would have done. So if you can be thinking like that, then you are a Christian even without having to go to any church. Without having to sign up at any church, you are a Christian. Even as a Muslim, you are a Muslim without having to sign up at any mosque. If you see what is good and you do, you are a man of God. You see evil and you avoid it from happening, you are a man of God. So I don't say man of God on the basis of wearing suits and not in ties. I see it on the basis of knowing good and doing it for humanity. Then you are a man of God. You don't have to wear tie. You don't have to stand at the pulpit. You don't have to preach. Let your character, what you do right to humanity, let it preach for us. So, but if you continue to squeeze from people, no accountability, nothing, you get out behind them to go to sneak out, you declare fasting, dry fasting for them, you are eating burger. You are not a man of God. If you take tithe and offering from them and they are hungry, they can't go to school, they don't have access to medicals, something you can do within your kilometer by kilometer for free for people, and you are not doing, instead you are collecting, you are not a man of God. You see, I've not mentioned him now. I'm just talking about what makes you man of God or otherwise. That's all I've been doing. You understand? So please bring my attention to more of these churches that are helping people, so that we can continue to tell more people who need those help to go there. That God is there. God is doing it there. Yes, that is where God is. Where humanity is getting aid, getting balanced, getting help. Wherever humanity is getting solution, that is where God is. But where you only compound problems for people, you only make them dance, jump up, shout hallelujah, you say your problem is over, imaginary over. Your problem is over, shout hallelujah, go the year and prosper. After you have squeezed them of tithe, offering, donations for projects and all that. Using Malachi 3:10 to do scare tactic, to scare them to release the last cover in their pockets. You now say, good ye, the Lord has answered your prayer. And the problem is still there. That God is not, so I don't believe God is in that one. But when I'm seeing practical solutions, for me, that pastor is a man of God, and that place, God is there. Thank you so much, and happy Sunday.